a lot of men that we spoke to seem to think that it's possible to be in love with two people and be confused. And the women also think that no, boy, it's not possible to love in your experience and estimation, which is which.
Let me start by saying this way that women can love more people at a time than guys.
Oh, okay.
I repeat, women can love more people at a time than men. Women are often confused on who to settle down with. I was in the trot row sitting at the back somewhere enjoying the air, entering the car, and then there were two women in front discussing. And one of them raised a discussion and was saying that Prince, I come a penny power, but I pepe. But Eric, dear, no, not me anyway.
We understand.
Yes, good. Okay, I can see what's in there. No, our cash. Even though me sit down pen, I can pay principal, but. And every young man out there should understand that the fact that a woman has said yes to your proposal doesn't mean that you are the only person she loves. And it applies to the males too. The fact that a guy has proposed to you, proposed love and marriage to you, doesn't mean that you are the only person. Several ladies he has proposed to. Most of the time, it is not one or two they are even looking at. They may want to, when a lady, oftentimes these days, when they say that I'm courting or dating, several women are on the line, they are observing and dating together. That's the confusion in the system now. When they say I'm dating you, you are not the only person they are going out with.
Okay.
There are 2, 3, or 4 of you. So until the ring is on the finger, you don't say that you have arrived yet.
Okay.
So yes, a man can love several people at a time. Yes, a woman can love several people at a time. Even when you have married, being you a male or female, even when you have married, you can still fall in love or you can still love other people. And that is why Jesus said in Matthew chapter 5, verse 28. Let me read, it's just one verse. But I tell you that anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. And the introduction of the word adultery often connotes that such a person has already married.
Okay.
And is still lusting or loving someone in his heart. It means that a man or a woman can love several people at a time. But it takes two things in my own reflection and experience, that it takes grace and discipline to stay committed and faithful and loyal to one partner. 2 ways I want to use for this. It takes grace, Adam, and it takes discipline to be loyal and faithful to one person. But to say that it is only one person you love, oftentimes when people say that, it's not the total truth, oftentimes. For those who are bold enough to say it is only one person I love, Jesus said, they last after other people. Sometimes not intentional. In your bid to admire someone, your admiration may lead on to other things. And Jesus wants of your hearts. Our commandment to me to admire somebody to the extreme, where in the discourse of Jesus, you are having an affair with a person with your heart.
Yeah.
So an affair is done not only with your genitals, but here with your heart and with your mind. So yes, I am saying that yes, a man or a woman can love 2 or 3 people at a time. It happens even sometimes when you are in marriage. But for this one, the young man is not even in the marriage yet. And the confusion he's going through is not a latter day, in quote, a latter day saint. It's not a latter day confusion.
Okay.
Everyone who has married passed through that stage.
Yeah.
Ubia Wawaribia went through that period of confusion. Where you have 2 or 3 or 4 women, you may want to consider Ajuana, Ya, Anna, Kofi. Because all of them may present the things you're looking for. Maybe you want church people, so he's a Christian, he's a prayer tower, he sings in the church. The other person to maybe a class leader in the church, or maybe a Bible reader in the church. Another person may even be a pastor in the church. She's a pastor in the church. Or she may be an usher in the church, or a singer and instrumentalist in the church, or a chorister. They are church people. So if you're looking for a church person, they all qualify. If you're looking for educational career, they all qualify. If you're looking for beauty, they all qualify. What else would you be looking out for? What else would you be looking out for? And if it happens like that, like I've said, everybody who hasn't married went through that. Everybody. Or before marriage has to go through that period of confusion where you are confused as to whom should I settle with, because they all qualify. Our friend should note that, number one, he's not the only person or the first person to be going through this. Everybody goes through that. Being you a man or a woman, the women go through the same. There are 2 or 3 guys, it happens. There are 2 or 3 ladies, they are fine. It happens. But to be able to know which one best fits you, you must go beyond what we are discussing today. One, I read a book by as one of the books I use for my counseling sessions. And I lined up portion in my book. And he says that often people who are of opposite temperaments get attracted to each other. You don't have the melancholic, the sanguine, the phlegmatic, the choleric. And he says that often people who have opposite temperaments get attracted to each other. And we say in science, unlike poles attract. And like poles repel. And what does he want to say here? So when you have someone who is like a giraffe partner, he must have a lion partner. 2 lion partners or 2 lions cannot stay. Or when you have a melancholic partner, when you are melancholic, you don't go for a melancholic partner. If you are choleric, you go for a sanguine person. If you're sanguine, you go for maybe a choleric person. Because you have opposite temperaments and you can better fit each other. You can better click. I asked a couple I was counseling years back. People say that. I said, Obani Bemano, Bakunya Shikakra. Bakunya Mrekakra. I asked them 2 minutes of my manners. And they would easily tell that, when you look at the 2 of you, this is that. And I'll tell them that, yes, because we must, psychologists say that we must not all behave the same way. We must be people of different temperaments. And that is what would often work out. Again, when you have looked at your temperaments, whether you are hot-tempered or you are calm, or you go beyond temperament and look at what I call the spiritual connection. There should be a spiritual connection. The Bible says that my spirit bears witness with the Spirit of God that we are children of God. So, must agree. There should be a certain spiritual connection. Having looked at the work, the career, the beauty, You realize he was talking about beauty because he introduced dark skin, fair skin, and stuff.
Exactly.
So he was looking at color and beauty and all that.
Mm.
Having looked at that, look at the spiritual connection. I'm not saying spirituality because he has already established that they are all Christians and they are church people.
Yeah.
But there should be a certain spiritual connection. There should be a certain agreement. Would they agree? Do they agree? Would they flow along with each other? And again, the last I want to say is friendliness. How friendly are they? And who is willing to forgive if I offend? That's the last thing me as a person would always want to. It may not apply to everyone, and everyone may know how to apply this last one I'm saying. This is my personal, and I think it will work for some people.
Yeah.
Who is ready to forgive in case I offend? And that is one of the last tricks I would use to check who is my best fit partner. Near obit de achemeno. And not just entire issues for our room. But even in courtship and dating, you hardly forgive me. And we can drag an issue to a point where the elasticity may lose its elasticity. And that is the point where we will be ending up in a divorce or something.
Yeah.
So I would check. I may try to even offend you to see if you can easily forgive me. But of course, a pardonable mistake, not unpardonable ones. I may try. I may intentionally try to pull some strings to offend you to see if you can forgive me. If you can't forgive me wholeheartedly, I'm saying this because in marriage there are little quarrels. Yeah, so if he or she is a person who cannot easily forgive, let to flow along with. If he takes his time and prays about that, I know the Holy Spirit will guide him. And you know why I've brought this as the last point in this?
Yeah.
Because oftentimes, church people like Yamompire gossip. Oftentimes we can be misled.
Yeah.
You know, I spent 2 years praying with her, trying to see if you would hear God's voice or anything. We didn't hear anything. So, to me, recommend it more. Be just pray about your marriage.
Okay.
And I think that oftentimes God may not say marry.
Akusia,
and those things. And I think He has given us wisdom, and we have to apply wisdom in the choice of the people we want to marry. Pray about it, but if God is kind towards you to say, marry Ajwa, marry Kuju, marry that is fine.
Yeah.
But meantime, recommend for all that I say is that just pray about the marriage and allow the Holy Spirit to guide you. Choose one.
Yeah. Somebody said after God gave Eve to Adam, and Adam accused God that the woman you gave me is the one who, God has stopped doing matching people.